this is Frank Yosef for another edition of the Wheel Estate Cam. This time it's the boat edition. We're out here on Lake Barcroft and gonna talk about real estate. So let's get going. No seatbelt this time. So what I want to talk about today is agent reviews. Reviewing things on the internet is just huge. Everyone's getting into it. Amazon with their product reviews. I, for example, ended up buying a glove on Amazon that had no photo, and it was ranked, super low because it has no photo. Who's going to buy a baseball glove without a photo? And I bought it. It was great. I took 3 photos of it, added it to Amazon, and suddenly the sales skyrocketed. Why? Because reviews. People like to hear what other people say about it. And Amazon's doing it, Yelp's doing it, Urban Spoon for restaurants. It's huge. Consumers are demanding it. It is the Angie's List, the Consumer Reports, social networking future. It's huge. So a few years ago, the concept of agent reviews started coming out there, and I thought, it's a great idea, but it's just not going to happen. It's just too easy to manipulate. Agents getting on there saying how great they are. I mean, sites like Active Rain, blog sites, allow you to have a testimonial section, but you're gonna put the worst testimonials up there, and it's not really true. It's not really believable by the consumer unless there's negative reviews, unless there's both the good and the bad for them to really make a decision. But then my mind was changed when I went to Inman. Make sure you go to the Inman conference. I went to the Inman conference, and they had a discussion with the Houston Association of Realtors and Redfin on a panel. And they were discussing how they are doing agent reviews. My mind was blown. They figured it out, and this is the way that it's going. And you really gotta figure out how you're gonna implement it. I'd like to implement it. Maybe those guys will be outsourcing or allowing licensing for their systems, because it's a no-brainer, and consumers are going to be demanding it. What the Houston Association of Realtors did, which is amazing, is they set up a system where from the association level, they will send out an email to each buyer and to each seller after a transaction has been done. Now, yes, technically you might be able to game it and give a fake email address. Well, first of all, you can opt into the program. You can decide if you want to be in it or not. And those that are in it are getting more business. And if you opt in, you've got to give an email address every time you close on a property, and then they send us a survey, and then the rankings are published online. And it's an all or nothing thing, I believe, that if there's a negative comment and you want to be taken off, you want that negative comment removed, then you've got to remove all comments so you're not participating, and you kind of look like you've got something to hide. But the way that, so that's from the association level, so that's something that associations can start looking into nationwide. What Redfin did from a broker's standpoint is they send out a correspondence to every buyer or seller. And with buyers, they even send out correspondence after an offer is made, which blows my mind. Like, they haven't even bought the place, and they're asking, how is your Redfin experience? And they are publishing that data. And what they said is, what I would expect, if an agent has 20 positive ratings, 1 out of 5, 5 stars, everyone clicks on the lowest, number 1, negative rating. They want to read what happened. What's the worst that I can expect from this agent? And if I can accept the worst, then I might, consider using this agent. This is the concept. First of all, the one issue I had with HAR, and maybe they'll work on this, is that he was saying how their agent average rating score was in the high 4 point whatever out of 5. My issue with that is, if you've got a rating system that's too glowing, that's too all great, look how great we are, then it doesn't have as much of an impact. It's still great, but only a system like Redfin that includes the negatives and includes 100% of the transactions, not just cherry picking your best stuff, only then will customers really believe it when they see the negatives. When you see a negative out there, it's very impactful, and makes not only is the negative impactful for the negative sense, but it makes the positive comments 10 times more believable. So it really skyrockets your openness. And So the number one concern that agents are going to have is, well, I don't want that, that one transaction that went wrong to manipulate my entire, business. It could send me under. No, first of all, any customer that sees, first of all, if you don't do it, your competition's going to do it, so they're going to have a leg up on you. But if there is a negative comment, you'll have an opportunity to reply to that negative comment, and the consumer will be so impressed that you allowed both the good stuff and the bad stuff that it will just they will be just so impressed. It will help the business, even if you have 20%, 1 out of 5 customers having a problem with your transactions. And from a broker standpoint, if you are getting a whole bunch of negatives from an agent, then guess what? They probably shouldn't be an agent with you anymore. One large company told me, oh, we've been doing this for years. We've been sending out, we have a whole system set up where we send out a letter to ask them for feedback on what they thought of the agent. But the problem is you haven't published that. You have the data. You have what consumers think about your agents, and you're just too scared to show it to everyone. I'm saying, forget that. Scan them all in, the good and the bad, put them online, or enter them in through a database system. This is something that I'd like to implement. I haven't done it yet. It's on the to-do list, and it takes time. This stuff is not easy to do, but it is where things are going. And my agents, I've got a few agents that work with me at Frankly Realty. They're not going to be, they are a little bit scared about it, and that I can understand. I can understand that. Now, one thing that someone's going to ask is, well, can't you still manipulate it? Can't you still tell the customer? Like I've seen some Lexus dealers, someone who worked at Lexus would always tell their customers, hey, when you get this survey, make sure you put all positive stuff in there because that's how my bonuses are set up. Well, yes, an agent might be able to do that, but there's ways around that. The system will work itself out where there might be a question in there, hasn't the agent tried to manipulate you to give a positive rating, and you get a couple yeses on those, and that's gonna hurt you big time. So you don't want to manipulate stuff like that because you'll get caught. So I really think you guys need to look into, everyone needs to look into agent reviews. Another side note that I forgot to do in the intro is home reviews, something that my site started doing, franklymls.com, which is a wiki MLS, allowing buyer agents that go into homes. Let's say there's a home with one photo, bank owned property, has one photo or no photo. The buyer agent goes into the property, if it's vacant, only if it's vacant, and takes 30, 40 photos of it, and then publishes them online in a blog format, publishing the photos of that house. So the concept's already there of reviewing things in real estate, and that's working great. We've reviewed, I think, 3,000 or 4,000 homes, 100,000 photos have been added to the MLS by buyer agents that are participating in a co-opetition, different firms working together. And the number of complaints have been maybe 1 or 2 when someone said that there was mold, and there was mold, and anybody can review, and anyone can remove any negative posts as well. So this is the future, and in the next couple of years there'll be more systems coming out for agent reviews. So I'd like to see, what do you guys think about agent reviews? Is it too easy to be manipulated? Sound off on Twitter. My Twitter account is Frankly Realty. My blog is blog.franklyrealty.com, and let me know what you think about agent reviews. And if you're a consumer, let me know, will you believe agent reviews? Will you believe them only if they're negative? Will you believe positive? I want to start getting into this discussion to see what the best way, and if you know of other solutions out there, please let me know. I know that there are a couple other companies trying to do agent reviews as well. Thanks a lot. This is Frank Joseph, blog.franklyrealty.com, and for Inman News on our Real Estate Cam.